Such your roughest become your worst. I don't know what you deserve. Ended after once and more. They're all let's go.
How are you?
I'm really well. How you doing?
I'm very good. Great to see you.
I just realized I just put my kid to bed and I just walked out of a dark room and I hadn't seen myself until now. Look
You're,
okay.
you're looking amazing, mate. And
How
how
you
you? How you?
been?
I mean, okay. Just being creatively trying to get my juices flowing. Being closed, it's
The
heartbreaking
juices.
for us. Yeah. It's heartbreaking for us to be closed because Chapel of Chapel, we just love being, immersed in the arts and live music, and we're sad, but we're trying to keep creative and trying to keep in touch with our audiences and you guys, because you're our soul. If we didn't have you,
Yeah,
we would
yeah,
be nowhere.
yeah.
And I have my Kyle t-shirt on.
Yeah. Oh, you got one. That's
Yes.
awesome.
I got the vintage out tonight for you.
Yeah. You got the vintage shirt. I love it. You're a true fan.
Oh, undeniably so. How have you been coping in isolation?
Mate, look, to be honest, you know, other than the tragedies going on with people suffering and dying and obviously people losing their livelihoods and stuff, including myself. But, I guess I'm really enjoying it now. After that
Yes.
initial shock of losing basically my finances and stuff, but these are all things that come and go, and it's kind of there's a sense of comfort in it when the whole world's in it with you.
Yes.
So I guess once I surrendered to just like, oh well, I'm just gonna do my best. I'm gonna create music. I'm gonna keep connected with my supporters as much as I can. Yeah, I was just kind of like, I'm really enjoying it. I get to still surf, plenty of time with the kids. Been writing,
Awesome.
been writing a lot of music. Um,
Amazing.
yeah, so it's been positive. It's been positive.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And tell me, we just dropped Plastic Hearts on IGTV and stunning performances. We were so lucky to have you for 2 nights in February during our Trouble Summer sessions. Tell me about those people who didn't come to the show, who couldn't come, like interstate. How was performing those nights?
Yeah, look, it was,
You
I don't
really
know,
pushed the boundaries
yeah, like I guess
in those.
it was pretty nerve-wracking time for me in the sense of where I was taking my show for the first time, playing with string players and having a pianist and stuff on stage and doing something very different to what I've done ever with my
Yeah.
performances. So yeah, there was a lot of discomfort in that sense, but they turned into probably some of my favorite shows I've ever played. Well, not probably, definitely my favorite shows I've ever played. And yeah, there was something so special about those nights. I think I was feeling quite raw and vulnerable, and I really wanted to deliver a show to my supporters that, because I'd only just been in Melbourne a couple of months prior, and
Yeah.
to sell out 2 shows at the Chapel again after I just did the biggest show I'd ever done in my career, which was at the Corner.
Yeah.
To then still have that many people still wanting to come see me play after they just see me, I really wanted to give them something special and really, because I didn't have much time at the Corner Hotel to really talk and give a background of songs. So yeah, it was really nice to just feel settled and give people a new perspective and a bit more insight into my music. Yeah, it was honestly, I don't know. I would come to the dream, like I said at the show, that were the dream shows. If I could do that every night of my career for the rest of my life, I'd be a happy man.
Okay, so we're going to book you in for the rest of the next year. Our residency, and we'll bring in a cup of tea as well. So
Bring the ginger tea. As long as the ginger tea is there, I'm in.
That's all I
Done
deal.
Oh,
But yeah, it was so beautiful, and we just released one of the songs, but we've got 5 more to go. So the sound is amazing, and I can't wait to bring out the next 5 videos.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is I kind of feel like we're starting here, and then it's only going up. You know, I don't know. That's my personal feeling about it. It's just like it's like Plastic Hearts is like a taster of what's yet to come with arrangements. So
it was so stunning. Like I had goosebumps when when you turn down and when you come up again in your vocals, and it's like I was blown away. Like I was playing it on repeat all day today. So nice.
Oh.
So you being a mental health advocate, tell me about how you keeping your what tools are you using at the moment to keep your sanity and your mental health in check. What's your mantra?
Yeah, I mean this is a really tough time for I think a lot of people with mental health, including myself. You know, I'm pretty lucky that I have my family, you know, my 2 kids and my wife that I can, you know, reflect on and then bounce those reflections with my wife, and you know, my kids keep me out of my head a little more and a little more grounded and something to focus on. But yeah, I think for me, it's just trying to keep a routine. You know, I think that's important for me is making sure that I'm still getting up in the morning and doing my stretches or a little bit of meditation or reading, and then going to have a surf, still get to surf, making sure that I'm doing the little things that keep me grounded, and making sure that I'm checking in on myself too. You know, because I think times like this, the emotions or the weight of it can really creep up on you. You know, like if we don't recognize it early, it's a really strange time. There's so much uncertainty. So I think it's really important that we're checking in with ourselves and making sure that we're okay, you know, and not just blowing it off just because everybody else is also in it. You know, I think it's the reflection state doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be compared. You know, it's just like checking in with yourself and your own circumstances and where you're at. Like just because everybody's in it doesn't mean that we can't be suffering on our own levels. So just giving myself a lot of love and a lot of time, and making sure that, you know, I'm still owning every feeling that comes with what's happening right now, on a global scale and a local scale.
You definitely we've all been feeling it. And your song "You and I" has really helped me get through. Like, for example, on Tuesday was my anniversary of Mom's passing, and those kind of elements when you get there, you get those feelings on 10 times worse. Like, you know what I mean? When we're in isolation, you tend to feel it. And I thank you for those beautiful lyrics in "You and I" that have got me through these challenging days. Like, your music is so inspiring and uplifting for me.
Somewhere in our bitter now, somewhere in our took loud, somewhere in I know you tried, somewhere in I'm holding on. Sometimes I might get this wrong, somewhere in it's you and I. So get loud, somewhere in I know you try.
Thanks, bro. That means a lot. No, it's just like I'm so happy that song hits people like it does. You know, because
Yeah.
I didn't really have an intention when I was writing it to ever release it. So now that it's out, and
Thank
people,
God you did.
yeah, you know, and I mean, I'm really glad I did because it definitely pushed me to really be more of an advocate for mental health and push my boundaries of vulnerability in playing that song and then talking about that song live has always been, it's always hard for me every single time. And I always kind of choke a little because I remember the space I was in when I wrote it. And even now, like thinking about it, like I get a little bit emotional. Yeah, it's still, and to think that anybody else is in that state that I was in when I wrote that song breaks my heart. So I really love it that people can listen to it and you know have a maybe it's like a camaraderie thing. I'm not quite sure. Everyone kind of connects with that song differently, but knowing that you know somebody else has been there and somebody else has kind of dragged themselves out to a point anyway.
I find it so uplifting. The whole song, it takes me on a journey. You know, love it.
Want it to be like a warm cuddle. It's like a warm
Yeah,
cuddle.
it is a warm
Like
cuddle. I
like
love
a
it.
ginger tea on a winter morning.
Exactly, totally. Tell me about you getting into music from the get go. You were 19 when you wrote your first song.
Yeah, I think it would have been about 19. It was shit,
You
but I would
part of
have
the
been about
song.
19, or maybe it was a little bit earlier.
Mm.
Yeah, but my my wife still remembers it because I wrote it for her, and I don't remember it, but I remember it being bad. It was a really really bad song. I'm trying to remember a lyric from it. Anyway, it'll come to me maybe later. Yeah, and then you know, I didn't get that serious about it because I still had this narrative that I was running that music, you know, wasn't a viable income and that I needed to make a living and you know I need to get my solid job, my 9 to 5, and you know I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but just for me, I was just like I thought I had to do that, even, and I just kept on suppressing every voice and every feeling in my heart that was saying all that was wrong, until you know until we conceived my first boy, and once we found out, I was just like I need to do music. And that's when I just started going really, really hard with it, which is kind of the opposite for a lot of people. I know a lot of people have kids and go the opposite way, but I just figured that I needed to be the man that I wanted to be for my son. You know, I didn't want to be
The
this
inspiration.
broken. Yeah, I wanted to be, you know, I wanted to be someone he could look up to and someone who he could say, reflect on his childhood and remember his father being happy and me not being kind of this hypocritical or contradictory father saying, you know, chase your dreams, like do what you want to love, and then I'm doing a job that I hate, and doing things that I hate, and I never chase my dreams. So, yeah,
Oh,
that
I'm so happy you did. And when you were 17, you done some boxing.
I don't even remember telling you.
I done my research, buddy.
How many wines did I drink? Yeah, I used to think I was a boxer.
Love it.
Yeah, no, I trained really, really hard for a while. It would have been like a year or something. And then my coach got me into a tournament, and I got my head punched in. And then I thought it was just like I needed some more training. And then so I did a whole bunch more training. I did another tournament, and I got my head punched in again. And then I was just like, I don't like boxing. I'd rather hug you than punch them. I just feel I'm not a fighter. I can't get aggressive enough. But funnily enough, I do like watching boxing. I think because I got so into it for a while, it is quite a technical sport. Yeah, but I suck.
How did you get into it? Was it a friend of yours or?
I think it was just the uneasy, like 16-year-old full of testosterone trying to prove myself guy that originally got me like, to the gym. And then I think after that, I just really enjoyed the discipline. It got me, you know, I was a little bit of a menace of a kid, and I was kind of on the streets and doing some naughty things, and so it kind of got me off the streets, because my coach, if he ever found that we were fighting or if we were drinking before tournaments and if we went out partying, then he would ban us from the gym. We would be punished. So it kind of got me. It kind of got me on the straight and narrow, so to speak.
Have you taken any of those disciplines towards your music?
No. No, I mean, no, not really. Like, I'm pretty relaxed with my writing and my music. You know, I think I'm definitely driven. I'm definitely driven, and I'm definitely motivated to make music work. I think you have to be, especially for an artist like me that doesn't have support from Triple J or commercial radio, or I don't have big budgets behind me. You have to have a lot of
Triple J. It's like,
rude.
Triple J, how can they not play your music? Like,
who knows? But
you know, I think
I mean, I still love Triple J. I mean, they do their thing. But you know, I think it means that I just have to work a lot harder. I have to tour a lot harder. And you know, and I kind of have to lean on my support network a lot more. My fans, I have to lean on them a lot more than other musos do, because they can lean on their big budgets for marketing, or they can lean on their commercial radio or whatever. And I can't. So I tend to lean on my supporters a lot. And I don't know. I don't know whether they like it or not, but that's all I have. You know, is those guys they're my radio station. They're my big budget. They're my record label. They're my managers. They're everything. You know, they spread my music far and wide, and so yeah.
And you can feel the love from your fans. Like there's something else. They're like so beautiful and so into your music and so loyal. Like I've seen you come here you come to Chapel at 2017, and I've seen some familiar faces, and they're just enthralled by you. And you don't need the backing. Your music,
I mean, it blows
speaks
my mind,
volumes. Like, they're just missing out. They are just missing out. Like,
but you know, at the same time, I have a lot of gratitude for it. You know, because I didn't get a big hit that just blew up. It's just like my catalog now is that, like, there's no really, like, I mean, Sleep by Rivers is probably my biggest song, but you know, like, everyone connects to so many of my songs for different reasons, and there's no like one big huge hit. Everyone just loves like different songs of mine. You can kind of see that with my plays as well. They're kind of like, all of them are sitting at around the same amount of plays. You know, they're in the millions, which is amazing. And they're all around that. So people go through and they listen to every single song. They're not just like, oh, Kyle Lionhart, that's his song.
That's right.
Because I just do have this really loyal supporters, and you know, they're coming to like 6, 7, 8 shows of mine, and they're still returning. And you know, I start to have like these really nice relationships with them, and they've seen me grow. You know, I think that's what's beautiful. They've seen me come from this very awkward. I mean, I'm still awkward, but this very awkward and like, you know, just kind of timid, didn't really know about my songwriting, didn't know what I was writing about, just kind of throwing it all in there. And now I'm kind of like just growing and kind of expanding and pushing boundaries, and they get to see all these changes and shifts and see me kind of, grow and grow old at the same time.
It's amazing, and especially like with your amazing debut album last year, Too Young. It's the first album I've listened to for a long time, where I thought from start to finish, and I was waiting so long for your album to come out, because I love your EPs, but you know, back in the old days, I had an album. I had to go through the sheets and listen to the lyrics, and everyone be quiet. I'm listening to this album. I need 2 hours of private time, you know, so I can really get into the lyrics. And your album was phenomenal, and it took me on a journey, and I thought that you were more open, and your lyrics were more, you know, vulnerable and more literal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I really tried that with this album. Is, again, like, I'm always trying to push my own personal boundaries. And for me, a big part of my journey has been opening up and honesty and vulnerability in my music and in my life. And it's, there's been some huge shifts in my life that have surrounded this.
Yeah.
So this album was kind of born out of that. And I really wanted to open up as much as I can. And the more that people look into the lyrics, the more I realize just what I've done, where I've been, and kind of like what I'm trying to express in my music. Because there's some pretty like brutally honest stuff in my album in some of the songs that I don't know if people get them on the first few listens unless they really sit down and listen to the lyrics.
Yeah.
They'll understand that there's some brutally honest things in there that I think, I was embarrassed and ashamed. There was a lot of shame around writing it, but I had to, so it feels good. So
How did you feel like and letting go and being open? And after you thought, like, as an artist, you can say, oh, I want to say this to myself and personal, but this is my life and this is what I've experienced. It doesn't matter. I think we're all the same. Everyone's in the same journey. It doesn't matter if you're a singer, or whatever you do. Like the lyrics that you spoke about captures everyone.
Yeah. Well, you never know if it's gonna
Yeah.
capture everyone or anyone.
Yeah.
You just kind of write. I think for me, and I think all my supporters would agree, is that they connect to my music on a very personal level, and they all kind of connect to them for different reasons. They attach my lyrics to different parts of their lives and different events that have happened, and I think that's what's really beautiful. Is it's like I kind of write it in these moments, and it's not that I don't want to really convey the story as much. I want to convey the emotion. And that's really important for me, is just like conveying the emotion behind the song. The story is nice to know, but I want people to relate to the emotion. So it's almost like I want to give them permission to feel it themselves, not that they need permission, but I think sometimes I need it. I listen to music, I write music for that. It's almost like a ticket to say, hey, you're allowed to feel that, and you're allowed to cry, and you're allowed to feel like shit, and you're like you can have all that, like it's like you're allowed to feel like that, and it's important. It's vital to do that also.
Absolutely. Like and you convey that, and something like holding on. It feels like a movie soundtrack for me. Like the whole journey is, I feel like I've seen a film in a 4-minute song. Like it's amazing. And tell me about when you thought, that's it, I'm doing music full time, because there was periods in your life where you were like, obviously you're writing your first song, you're still working part-time, whatever you're doing. Where did you think, that's it, I'm concentrating full-time on my music? What gave you the punch to go, yes?
Mate, the main, one of the biggest reasons I went into music was, again, like I couldn't deny it anymore. It was just that overwhelming feeling. But I was pretty severely depressed with where I was at and what I was doing, and I just needed change.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine myself rocking up to the work site that I was working on one more day. Like I was just in such a dark place, and I just needed a complete haul on my life. That was like one of the pivotal moments of me deciding in my mind, I'm going to do music. And like I said, I had my first kid.
How old were you?
I was 21.
Yeah.
And at that same time, I chose to do music. I chose to like push for going out and doing gigs, and I quit my job and I walked out. So this was kind of all in around like a 6 to 8 months period. I walked out.
Wow, massive change.
And I went out and did the pub gigs and stuff, but I wasn't very good, so I couldn't get many gigs. A few cafes, well, one cafe in particular told me that I wasn't that great, and they didn't want me back. And so I kind of got like a bit of humble pie and a kind of like a, I don't know what to call it, like the raw truth or the, it was just like one of those moments where I was like, damn, I'm going to have to try really hard for this. So I had to go back and do a little bit of work on the tools again, just to make ends meet. And then I was relentless. I was so persistent and relentless with like the cafes and gigs and my music that I ended up just, getting enough gigs, and then weddings started to come on board, and I started doing lots of weddings, and and it all worked out.
I think that's what's working with you, your perseverance.
Perseverance, yeah. I mean, I think we need it in all aspects of life, but the music industry, perseverance
exactly.
is perseverance, and the willing to pivot and change.
Because there was a time where you got your independent record deal and you lost your voice.
Yeah.
How scary was that?
Yes. Well,
it's like sliding.
Yeah, we got offered the deal, and we hadn't actually signed it yet. But the week we got offered the deal, I injured my vocals that needed surgery, which was going to cost me $25,000.
And for an independent musician, that is full on with a family.
Well, that's
like,
I didn't.
What the?
I did not have $25,000. I still don't have $25,000. So, but what we did have is we had an advance from both publishing and the record deal that was meant to pay for my albums that I was meant to record from the record deal. So we signed without telling them that I'd injured my vocals so I could get the surgery, with no guarantee the surgery was going to work. And I paid for the surgery with those advances. So every cent that was meant to go into recording a record went to that. So then that's where the perseverance came. It's just like, then I had to find the money to then record this record that I owned them. I owed them, sorry.
Wow.
So I got my voice back, but then I had no money to record the record.
Hey, thank God for that. But you made it through. And that's like,
I mean, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like, at the time it was happening, I think my wife can be quite a annoyingly optimistic human.
She's awesome. Hallelujah.
Positive way.
Yeah.
Positive way. She's very optimistic, and I remember she was just like, "Babe, this is the hurdle. If you can get past this, it's it." It's just like, if you can get this is like the last thing. If you can, like, because we've been through so many things before that point. And it's just like I was getting offered this record deal and management, and I was like, if you can get past this, then then that's it. It's smooth sailing. I mean, she wasn't 100% correct with the smooth sailing, but she was right. It's like, once I got past it, it was like my career started going really well with original music, and I started gaining a lot of great supporters and being able to do some of the best shows of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank God you persevered, mate, because it's like you're about to achieve like gold in in terms of career wise for an artist to get a deal, publishing deals. Like perseverance. Well, you've done it.
Yeah.
And how did you recover with your voice? Like, how did you get back into it?
So it was like
was it slow?
Yeah, 6 months of recovery. And I remember when I did it, we got kicked out of our house we were living in. We had it would have been maybe like a 16-month-old and a 3-year-old, and we were trying to move house, and I had no voice. I wasn't allowed to lift anything because I wasn't allowed to sneeze, and I get really bad hay fever from dust as well. So when you're moving, I wasn't allowed to sneeze, cough, hum, make a noise. I remember trying to discipline my kids with like a talk app on my phone. Like tell my kids to like go stand over there, and and then so I was moving house with no voice down into a different house. We'd been kicked out, and then it was like 6 months of recovery before I could sing again. So slow increments. So like it was 2 weeks of absolutely nothing, then like another 2 weeks I was able to do like say one word, and then after like 3 months, I was able to like speak at a really low volume, like very low volume.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was increments, and it was honestly one of the most challenging times of my life.
Absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So, and above that, like you got over that with your amazing album and like 10 million streams on Spotify, and you also got your name in the Echo Gig Guide in Byron Bay.
That was where I see my career. That is where I seen it. That is as far as I planned for my career. When I sat in my, it was actually before we had my first boy.
Yeah.
Just before, and I remember we were sleeping in the garage. My wife was fully pregnant, about to have the baby. We were sleeping in the garage of a friend's house, in a shared house with like 6 other people. And I said to her, I was playing guitar, and I said, you know, what my goal is for this career is to get my name in the local newspaper in the gig guide.
And it happened.
And I nailed
it. So looking forward, what do you hope to achieve? Like, I mean, you pushed, like your gigs have been outstanding. You're doing, you know, massive gigs at the moment. What do you want to achieve next? Or are you? It's a hard question. But...
Yeah, I mean, obviously, coming leaps and bounds from my my gig guide Echo feature. It's you know, like I think for me is you know, I think any artist in life, they don't want their shows to grow. I do want my shows to grow. I want them to get bigger, but I don't want them to get to a point where I'm losing connection, the strong connection that I have with my fans. You know, there's 2 parts of me that like really wants the support of like big commercial station or Triple J and just like push one of my songs. But then there's that other side of me that maybe holds me back and self-sabotages in some aspects. Is that's like, I don't want to sell out a huge venue and everyone know me for that one song. And then all my other songs, my very intimate, like songs that I've like put so much life and effort into like writing for my supporters, kind of get lost in the mix because people are kind of just there for that one hit. And I've seen it happen over and over again with artists. So I'm kind of in 2 minds about that. But yeah, you know, like I think, again, like if I could grow my career to the point where I'm doing what I was doing at the chapel, but on a bigger scale, you know, like I always just want to grow it to make the show better. For me, it's just like, if I can make more money on a show, I don't want it to bring it home. I want to like get a choir behind me, and I want to get like a whole orchestra, and I want to get like a 7-piece band, and I want to put more. I want to have this lighting, and I have so many ideas, but I just can't afford to do it. You know, like So it's taking what I love to do, and expanding on it, and making it more special, making it more of an experience. You know, it's because like what I find it's like what I'm selling to people isn't like, I'm not selling myself. I'm selling an experience. I'm in the business of goosebumps. It's like, I think John Butler put it when I was speaking to him. It's like, we're in the business of goosebumps. And if we can give that moment to someone, that experience to someone, then we can justify, you know, because it's really hard for an artist to value themselves and say, hey, buy this ticket to come see my show, because we most artists I know feel really weird about that. So when we sort of think of it as like an energy exchange, is we put so much time into this craft, and if you can give us this small amount, you know, it's like it's $30 or $40, it's like a dinner. Then we can give you this experience that we hope you can hold for a lifetime. You know, it's just like, when I still don't take for granted the messages that I received and the comments I received from people saying, this concert changed my life, or this is one of the most special moments, this is one of the most special nights, I love this gig. Like, all those comments, although I get them a lot, and people always start that, you know, they start a message to me like, I'm sure you get this all the time. But I just want to tell you, I was just like, I do, but it never goes unappreciated, because that is my job, is giving that experience. And if you've had that experience, then I've justified for me to sell you that ticket. You know, it's just like I really
And
love that you've had that.
and the same space where I love my job is to give the same experience to our audiences and to and to artists to feel they've had the goosebumps performing their songs in our venue and getting intimate with their audience. That's what I live for as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I feel you.
yeah. So that's it. You guys
Yeah,
create that space. You know, you create that space for that experience.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's incredible, really
yeah.
incredible.
So what's your are you're busking as well? Still, but and doing arenas. What's your best form of performance?
Well, since the chapel shows, I think it's that.
Yeah.
I think it's strings and a piano.
Yes.
You know,
And
no, I
I
love.
remember I spoke to
Sorry.
you a few years ago in Toffintown. After one of
Yeah,
your shows, I said, "Come back to chapel. I want a string section, and I want." We manifested it,
yeah,
and a couple of years later, it happened. Um,
yeah.
thank the gods
You know,
above.
yeah, like I love all. I mean, this is actually, I love all performances. You know,
Yeah,
I love playing solo. I love playing with my 5-piece band. I love playing with the strings section. They all create a different experience, I think,
yeah,
for my supporters and my fans. And but I don't think anything really comes close to busking. You know,
yeah,
you know, that's where I started, and I don't do
yeah,
it near as much as I'd like to now, just because of my where my career's gone and how busy I am, and I'm always on the road. But when I can, there's something so special about busking that I really really love. Uh, I think it's mainly because there's no other reason or motivation for people to stand in front of you and listen. There's no alcohol, there's no food. They're on a
yeah,
street corner. It's usually pretty uncomfortable, but they're there and they're listening, and that means that you've really connected with them. You know, because it's one thing for people to be a fan of your music and sit in a nice, comfy, soft chair and this beautiful light show and sit there and listen. You know, it's like they're connecting on a different level. You know, that's a different experience again. But the busking experience you're giving people that are hearing you for the first time is, yeah, it's really special. I don't know. You can't explain it. I'm always,
oh,
I don't know. I guess I'm looking from the perspective of people that support me though. I'm being too much of an empath. I need to be more of an arrogant muso. I need to think about
no,
me more.
no, you do
If it
not.
was
No,
about me and how I feel, then it's about selling out arenas and all the chicks and money and drugs. Is that suit
and
me?
then, no. Sorry, not you. Thank God. um, if someone didn't know about Kyle Lionhart, what song would you give them out of your catalog to say
So
if you
this
could
is
pick
me.
one? Yeah.
There's three.
Yes.
It's flying, too young,
Yeah.
and you and I.
Ah, awesome.
If
Yes.
you want to get like the most insight you can from me in like 3 songs, listen to those 3, and they will give you the most insight into how I feel, who I am, and how overly emotional I can be at times.
I love that. So it's amazing. Also, another question for you. We're turning 25 this year, Chapel, as a theatre venue.
Oh,
What advice? 25 years we've been running. What advice would you give to your 25-year-old self?
oh, geez, put on the spot. I think I don't. There's a few, but I think the one thing that still rings true to me is that geez, this is a really tough one. I think it's that nothing is ever perfect, and nothing is ever perfect. And all that needs to happen, all that you need to do is to practice.
Yes.
If that makes sense. It's worded in a
Yes.
better way. But
Le-
I have this idea behind people always thinking that there's people have talent, or that they need to get things perfect before they can express themselves publicly, and that discounts that you can't practice something. Like when I was 25, I had no idea how to play piano. I now
Wow.
play piano live at my shows, and
Yes.
there was. I think that just goes to speak. It's just like, I'm not perfect at it. If any, I suck at piano, but the point is that I'm putting myself out there, I'm showing up, and I think that's more important. It's like I can play it to an extent. It's not perfect, but you can practice the hell out of it, and you can get good at something. I don't know if that makes any sense.
It does. It's and again,
Right.
it's your persistence.
I'm trying to capture the sentiment, but I can't.
No,
I
yeah,
know what I meant.
you absolutely did. Kyle, I was wondering if you can play us a song.
Yeah, I can play you a song, sure.
Oh, we would love that. Put your hands up in the air, everyone watching.
Who wants a song?
Who wants a song? We do.
If
Oh,
I just can't find my capo. What have I done with it? Oh no. Okay. Plan B. Well, speaking of all this vulnerability and open chat, here's one of the songs that I was talking about. As I fumble through life, fought for what I knew was right and do, push the ones I love to say, thinking there was something I had to prove. And I know I'll make it home someday, but home is just that lonely place with you, my dear. Were we too young? Were we too young, my dear? Did our blood run with the thoughts of these fears? As I wander off track, head for the fence and pave us room, raise my glass to list maisons, so me that I see you soon, like you did, like you did. Were we too young? Were we too young, my dear? Did our blood run through the thoughts of these feelings? Were we too young? Were we too young, my dear? Were we too young? These fears. my ticket. We're too young. We're too young. It's my ticket. We're too young. We're too young. It's my ticket. We're too young. We're too young. It's my ticket.
Woo! So amazing. You are. It's so amazing, and I love it, and I appreciate your time. But I'm going to ask you a few fan questions from Instagram.
Okay,
All right, ready?
here we
Your
go.
favorite Byron Bay busker at the moment?
Wow, jeez, I can't say one of them's my favorite.
Who is it?
Look, I think it's got to be. I'm going to say 4.
Yes.
Felipe Baldemir, Jack Botts, Tayoski, and Ben Camden.
Okay. What's been the most mind-blowing fan experience ever for you?
Fan experience, like what
Yeah.
fans have done to me.
Yeah.
Yes. A guy got my autograph tattooed on his leg.
Impressive.
That was pretty
I love
mind-blowing.
it.
That was very mind-blowing. Yeah, huge commitment.
What would be your ultimate gig?
What would be my ultimate gig? I
Yeah.
haven't experienced all levels of gigs, so I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to experience. Ask me in like 4 or 5 years' time, and then I'll
Okay.
give you an answer. I really want to play a stadium because I just don't. I have no idea how that would feel. It might feel terrible, or it might feel amazing. So yeah, I need to experience that.
That's definitely gonna happen, I think. Okay. Now, what do you prefer? Large gigs or intimate gigs?
Again, they both have their own experience. You know, like in the way that intimate gigs are really lovely, and there's like a different kind of connection. But then with the larger gigs, and then having my band and having everyone, like this huge group of people all just like really jacked on these songs that they love. There's something about that energy exchange that's just as fulfilling, you know.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this to a few people lately. Is just like, what is it about playing live that feels so good? And there was this conversation I was having where we were talking about that instant transferal. And so the larger crowd that you can connect with, or that instant transferal of your songs to the people that support you and have taken their time and spent their money to see you, and you're putting on a show that they're loving. Something about that instant transferal and that exchange of energy that it's like a spiritual experience. It's the only way I can say it, because there's nothing else that comes close. I've taken a fair few drugs in my life, and I've experienced
I never.
things. I've experienced some things and some feelings, and nothing comes close to that.
So true. It's so
Yeah.
true. And it's me seeing your show last February gave me that euphoric experience when I walked out of the theater, and I thank you so much for that. It was so, bing! I can't describe it, but we're gonna try and encapsulate them with the videos that we're gonna be releasing soon. So I mean,
Yes.
those gigs were like so euphoric.
Yeah.
I felt
That's the word.
I left work so late, and I just felt like I was on this high at home, driving home. Like, didn't matter. I was working 12 hours a day, but yeah, I just felt amazing. And because of you, like those kind of experience is I love.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
and
So
I
good.
thank you so much for your
Oh,
time.
my
And you're
pleasure.
touring. You're touring soon.
Wow, maybe.
Hopefully, maybe we don't know
Hopefully.
yet, but yeah,
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
Fingers
Um,
crossed.
May, June, there'll be shows. We can go see Kyle, yeah, in the flesh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Fingers crossed. We're trying to reschedule some dates, and hopefully
Yeah.
it'll all come together towards the end of the year, but we'll just have to wait and see.
It'll be so amazing. And do you want to take us out with the song? It'll be amazing
Oh, yeah.
if you like.
Yeah,
Or
you
we
know
can,
what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do for you?
yeah.
I'm going to play you guys half a song that I wrote today. That's what I'm going to
Oh, exclusive.
do. Exclusive. This is the first time the world's ever heard it.
And if we get cut off, Instagram cuts us off in an hour. But if it gets us
Oh,
cuts
that's
off,
fine. The
I'll
song needs to
thank you
be
so
cut off.
much.
All right, here we go.
Thank you. All right,
Okay,
let's do it.
I gotta look at my lyrics here. So I'm excited about this song. All right, here we go. All right. Somebody said it's easy, staring at the ends, feel like it just began. Never look away, stand now. The warmth that's on your skin is your smile creeping in. 'Cause I ain't gonna let you down. I ain't gonna give up just to say that I won. 'Cause I ain't gonna let you down. I ain't gonna give up on the love that we found. I never thought I'd get this far. I'd always been broken hearted. But how we look at where we are, it's everything we wanted. Count up for your lucky stars. Thanks for all the years we suffered. Just have a look at where we are, it's everything we wanted.
Oh,
That's all you guys get.
brother, you're the. Thank you for that exclusive. You're amazing.
Exclusive.
And thank you so much for your time with us tonight.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. Thanks for everyone tuning in and hanging out. Abraham, I love you. You're amazing.
Love you more.
Thank you for always supporting me and my music and sharing it constantly and running an amazing venue and giving me the chance to have some of my best shows of my life in there. And thank you for putting on this so we can all hang out and connect.
Oh, it was so amazing. Thank you for sharing your gift with us. Like, I'm so thankful to have met you 2017, but I've always been a massive fan and you're the bomb.
Thanks,
You're
brother.
amazing. And be super proud of yourself because you're just doing amazing work.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And let's on a high note, thank you so much for your gift with us.
See you guys.
Big hugs for you.
Big hug.
Yeah. I'll see you soon,
brother.
hopefully. Take care.